Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here today. I'm just going to let people start to filter in from the waiting room, and then we'll begin with some music to drop into this space. I'm feeling extra glowy today, glow-hoey. Oh. What an honor to be here with everybody. Doing a little name change here. All right. Yes. Okay. So, my beloveds, here we are in day 3 of how to glow up your sales training, how to use high ticket offers to build your 6-figure business and achieve all of your audacious goals. And it has been just like such a fun blast the last couple days to unfold the role that mindset plays in this, the role that pleasure plays in this. And today we're going to be covering the role that strategy plays in this game. And before we begin that though, I'm going to start us off with a dance break to get us in the mood, to get us in the mindset, to drop us into our bodies. So the invitation is to take this time and increase your pleasure by 1% or more. Just as I was sharing with you yesterday, how we took that dedicated time. This song isn't nearly as long, but even in these 3 minutes, how can you increase your pleasure by 1% or more? How can you shift your brain out of the space that tells you that this isn't possible for you, that this is only available for other people, that what you have isn't good enough in comparison? Any of those thoughts that might have already bombarded your brain this morning or at any point in the recent future, let's invite them to shift to the other track of delusional thoughts of possibility. So taking this time to do that and to settle into this space, let us begin with some money up.
I attract money, wealth is in my reach. I got everything I want and everything I need. I keep my mind open, abundance overflows. I budget right and I know where all my money goes. I am debt free and money works for me. Money in my sleep, a magnet for prosperity. Ain't nothing wrong with that, I deserve the best. Because I grind, take my time so my wealth can last. I love what I do and I know they love it too. And my millions gon' come hands in the air. I'm number one, there's no stopping me now. I know my shot shuts it down. Money's all over me. I'm called to be rich and be free. Get your money up, I get your money up. I get your money up. I get your money up, I get your money up. I get your money up. I get your money up, I get your money up. I get your money up. I get your money up, I get your money up. I get your money up. I charge what I'm worth, cause I'm not a slave. Sold out to the grind, cause I work for me. And not just with my hands, I work with my mind. I'm working smart, not hard online, I'm monetized. New streams of income in my repertoire. That's cause I know what my money making gifts are. My ideas are dollars, and I can drink some more. Don't see a door, it's alright, I make a window. And when that money come, every dime I make, I don't spend it all. Yeah, I stack and save, got a hustle account, and it's in my name. High rate of return, so I can live my dream. And I pay my tithes, it don't belong to me. Make a lot or a little, won't curse my increase. Building an empire, and my hustle inspires. Paycheck to paycheck, man, that life is retired. I love what I do, and I know they love it too. And my millions gon' come, hands in the air. I'm number one, there's no stopping me now. I know my shot shuts it down. Money's all over me. I'm called to be rich and be free. Get your money up, I 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 get your money up, money up. I got my money up, I got my money up, I get your money up, I got my money up, I got my money up, I get your money up, I got my money up, I got my money up, get your money up, I got my money up, I got my money up, get your money up.
Woo! Yes. Oh my gosh, you all just brought me to tears, literally, because this is a dream come true to see so many humans on a screen being able to revel in the dollar bills, whether they're fake cash money or real cash money. Babes, this is available for us. And to be in this collective energy with you all is just such an honor and such a delight, and to create it and cultivate it and have more of it, which is what we're here for. Oh my gosh. So yes, a little teary. That's like twice now in this training. Hello. The mission means something to me. So welcome, friends. If this is your first day joining us or your third day, such a pleasure to be here with you and hold space with you and cultivate and be in this energy of how do we create high ticket offers to create and grow our businesses. So who am I? I am Marissa. I'm the Rainbow Stallion, the legendary Glow Ho, the agent of sunshine, and all of these various parts of me I use to represent and call in different energies that allow me to really be in the belief that every desire I have is available to me, and to exemplify and bring that energy out to the world for all of you too. And so in my Rainbow Stallion mode, that's the part of me that stands for unabashed, unashamed, unbridled self-expression. Because I believe that when we are shining our most truest and self-expressed authentic light, then we have the collective effect of lifting everybody with us. That is the glow up. That is the shiny people theory. And so giving us all of the permission to be in whatever state you want to be. Like, this has been the funnest 3 days too, because I love to play dress up. I love to play in this energy of cultivating, what do I want to shine today? What do I need to embody to shine today? And so today, even fitting like this sweet little number for legendary Glowho, who the legendary Glowho part of me is the piece of me that really allows myself the permission to tap into pleasure through my sensuality, through my sexuality, through the piece of me that knows that pleasure is the energetic current that is going to take me the furthest. And that is the piece too that I think that you all see, that is like wondering what you lean in around. And it's the space where I allow myself to just truly shine the uniqueness of me, and with the energy of flirtation, with that energy of being like, hey, do you want to be glowy and hoey also? And whatever your version of that is, it can be a sparkle sequin top, it can be a turtleneck. It doesn't mean about how much skin you're showing or how overtly you express yourself, but are you tapped into the energy of your genitals, of your pussy, of your sensuality? And then the agent of sunshine piece of me that really understands that we have the capacity to change our whole interior experience using our mindset. And I'll often ask, I reject, although I fall into the conditioning, the question that we always ask each other, how are you? And what do we always answer? I'm fine. Maybe with some close people, we'll deign to say a little bit something different. I'm not great. But the truth and authenticity that comes when we ask, like, how is the weather inside? Is it cloudy with a chance of showers? Is it sunshiny? Maybe it's nighttime and the stars are sparkling. Maybe there's a fucking tornado going on. But your interior landscape, how is the weather inside? is created by your thoughts. And so as the agent of sunshine, it's reminding us that not do we always have to live in sunshine land, but that we have the capacity of choice always to inhabit the energies that are going to take us the places we need to go. And sometimes the energy that takes us the place we need to go are the ones that are quote unquote the darker ones, right? The anger, the rage, the grief. So it's not in the rejection of those. The agent of sunshine is not about all being love and light and happiness all the time, but it's in saying, can we be in our authentic flow with it all? And can we know that we have choice to change the current should we desire to? So anyways, that's a little bit of who I am, philosophical orientations. In terms of what I bring to the table of my tool set, I've been a lifelong entrepreneur. I've created and grown many successful businesses along the way, finally settling now into my holy soul fire mission of combining this work of mindset, pleasure, sexuality, and offering transformational coaching to other like-minded thought leaders, visionaries, game changers, leaders, which I see on the screen in front of me. Oh my gosh. So in that process of being a lifelong entrepreneur, I've learned a shit ton about business, what does and doesn't work. And then honing the training specifically with the erotic blueprint coach training. So bringing that deep understanding and framework of sexuality to the work that I do with everybody, because who we are as erotic beings is an essential part of us. Not only is it an essential part of us, but it is one of the most powerful pieces of creative energy for us. And so when we're talking about playing in the land of high ticket offers, big audacious goals, using the current of creation energy that comes from your sexuality and your eros is a tool that we cannot ignore. So having that deep understanding that the erotic blueprints allows us to tap into that energy as we are wired uniquely and individually. And that how that shifts, understanding how that shifts and changes throughout your day, throughout your moments, throughout your cycle, throughout your life. It's a very powerful and useful framework. And then additionally, being a certified life coach, school coach. And that's the mindset training that allows us to really understand and get very easily clear with why our thoughts are creating the results we see around us, both for the good and the hard pieces, right? We can see where our limiting thoughts and beliefs are creating results, but what's so curious and interesting too is to even come at it from the opposite space. That whatever thoughts I've been thinking currently have allowed me to get to the certain point of success that I have. But should I choose to have even more audacious goals, which by the way, I do, big pussy energy, big goal energy, that I'll need to have a different set of thoughts to create a different set of results. And so we can use this mindset work to both work from our limiting beliefs factor, clearing those and shifting those and changing those into patterns that are more helpful for us. And we can use it to already support what is happening really right for us. And so that's a really beautiful tool, that I bring into the mix as well. So as I've said before, these last 3 days have been centered around how to use high ticket sales to grow a multi-six-figure business. And I have unfolded the days very specifically in terms of what I would call order of importance, in terms of how to make that happen. And the first day, mindset, because again, as I was just espousing, we have the capacity to shift our state of being depending on the thoughts that we think. And that piece of understanding what I would call thought constellations, these concepts of belief structures that we hold, stories that we tell ourselves, scripts that we run, being able to understand and see those for what they are, reframe them, shift them is integral to any kind of transformation you're wanting to make, whether that's in your business, your relationships, to yourself, to others, any kind of transformation. And then as well, the pleasure piece, that pleasure is an energetic current that we can use as fuel to support our mindset, to support the strategy, which is what we'll talk about today. So mindset being number one, pleasure being a close second, and then strategy being this, like I said yesterday, kind of third place straggler, because the reality about strategy that I want to share with you is that any strategy is going to work when you have pleasure in mindset. So we'll get to that in just a minute. I'll dive deeper into that. So today's call is going to be about 60 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. And at the end of the call today, when I'm done filling our minds with messages of mindset, pleasure, and strategy, I would love to share with you the current offer that I have with the world right now, which is my Glow Up Mastermind. It's my current love child, and I'm just so excited and honored to bring this container to all of you. And so at the end of the call, I'll share a little bit about what that looks like, what we're cultivating. I've got cooking on over there, and invite you in to join us. So as well, I want to talk about my story of how I've gotten to where I am. And each day I've spoken of it from the perspective of that day's training. So my story of how I used mindset, my story of how I used pleasure to support me in this journey of going from, in this last year, going from $0 of coaching packages sold to over 400,000 in less than a year. And so how have I done that? Using these bits and pieces along the way. So just to talk to you a little bit about what strategy did I use to have that story to share with you today. And in that realm, basically, you've heard good chunks of it already. Today's going to be a lot of repetitive of the same, but like, what was the strategy that I used to unfold this journey? First of all, I turned to pleasure. I will say that pleasure did come before mindset for me. When I stumbled into mindset, I was like, oh shit, had I only discovered this first. But the first strategic step I took was utilizing pleasure as something that could change the way that I operated, that was an energy that was not taught to me as an inherent way of operation. Like I shared with all of you on day one, that in November of last year, my business plan became napping. Napping made me money, is what I decided. And so pleasure, the pleasure of a nap, right? That was a concept that was so foreign to me at first, when I realized that if I took pleasure and infused it into everything that I was doing, or prioritized it and made it come first, that everything in my life could shift more into the orientation of how am I achieving the transformation I desire. And it was actually really shown to me in one of the last jobs that I had working for others, was after the hurricane in Puerto Rico. I live in Puerto Rico, and in 2017, we had a ginormous hurricane that decimated the business that I had right then. And I had been running and operating an Airbnb for 4 years, which, by the way, is a lot of coaching. I look back and I was like, oh my gosh, how much coaching did I do with my guests as they came in to my world in Puerto Rico? But with the hurricane, that wiped out that business completely. So whoop, there I was, and in came this kind of random reconstruction job. And I was assigned to do this like very monotonous, very repetitive taking of data out on the street. I was having to like count light poles literally, and see which ones were standing, which had fallen, and what needed repair. And this was for one of the telecommunication companies. And the money was decent, but it paid like per mile, and you got to set your own schedule. And so I, being the overachiever, perfectionist, conditioned person that I am, I'm sure there's a few of you on this screen here, decided to go get it, because I've always had big goals. And one of the ways that I've recognized that you can make big goals happen is by funding them with money. Let's be honest, there is a piece of that that is real, right? The more monetary resource you have, the more that you can do things like buy homes or invest in programs or give back to the world the way that you want to. So anyways, I started working crazy hours, 60 to 80-hour weeks. And yes, I was generating decent income, and generating income decent enough. Actually, turns out, because of conditions outside of our control, the job only lasted for about 6 months. So in that year was the year that I made $40,000, $43,000, and dedicated 32,000 of it to coaching, which is a whole other story, by the way. But this job that I was working was allowing me to make that income, to invest in that way. And I was having to push hard for it. I found Mama Gina. She told me about pleasure. And I decided after that first workshop with her, let me try this out. What does this look like? So instead of leaving my house and working an 18-hour day, I decided I'm only going to leave after traffic, which means I'm only going to be able to work maybe 8 to 10 hours a day. And I'm just going to be in pleasure. The first part of my day, I'm going to put pleasure first. My friends, I kid you not, that working a half the amount of hours that I had before, that month I matched the same amount of money that I had made the month prior. And it was like, what just happened here? But what happened was pleasure, because in the change towards pleasure, you inherently start to take actions that either make you more efficient, magnetically draw in more opportunities. For, whatever reason, my boss started giving me assignments that paid more advantageously. And even just slightly, right? Like a little bit more per pull. And my massage client shows up, and instead of asking for 1 massage that month, they ask for 5 massages that month. And you would think that this is serendipitous coincidence, but it is not. Over and over again, I've proved that the more times I lean into pleasure, the more times that I prioritize pleasure, spending all of November napping and then having a $30,000 December. This is the orientation, the prioritization that has been so key for me. And so what has been my strategy? My strategy has been pleasure. That came in first. Right behind that, though, very closely related, was mindset. Because when I really stopped and understood the correlation between my thoughts creating my feelings, that what happens in the external world is neutral until you decide to assign meaning to it. Somebody loses their job. We both lose our same job on the same day. One person is devastated. Everything is going to go wrong for them. That other person loses the job on the same day and they're elated because suddenly they're released from the shackles of that job and now they can go pursue their dream. The losing of the job has no value. It is neutral. Your thoughts that you would apply to it create your experience and your reality. So when I came into that full understanding and the knowledge of how much I got to be in control of my experience, not just from a pleasure perspective, but from all of the scripts that my brain would run about what was available for me, what was possible for me. And that is what tripped me into my mantra, right? That I've shared with you. I set audacious goals. I think delusional thoughts of possibility. When I understood that how much my mindset created my reality, directly relating the results that I saw to my mindset, I realized I'm going to choose, even if it even needs to be delusionally oriented, that this is possible, that my audacious goals are possible. I'm going to choose that track. So strategy number 2 is mindset. And then in my own personal story, what was strategy number 3? Strategy number 3 was aligning myself with a mentor and supportive peers that were available to support those 2 pieces for me, mindset and pleasure. And so a game changer for me was when I joined a mastermind and put myself into coaching containers. And that even being a game changer from the work that I did in investing in myself that year of 2019, when I did the 32,000 of investments in coaching, right? That is strategy number 3, was align myself with mentors and teachers who could support me in understanding and unfolding for me the path of how to use pleasure, how to use mindset. And then also who had a little bit more knowledge about me than business, because although I had been an online entrepreneur, I had never promoted in an online business space before. So a coach who knew about that. And then the community of support. And this piece is so key and critical for me in terms of what were the strategy that I did, because being in a community of peers that believed that my audacious goals weren't so audacious provided a foundation for me, a space to go to. And I'm just going to say it, there's not a whole lot of people espousing this way of being, this way of living, this way of running a business from pleasure, from ease. that doing less can attract more. It's the antithesis of everything we've ever been taught and continue to be taught in our capitalistic culture that says working hard, driving hard, grinding hard is going to produce the result. And so for me to have a community of peers around me that said, it's okay if you nap. Not only if it's okay, did you nap today? Just checking in. Are you being a lazy pleasure hoe? Can we celebrate being lazy pleasure hoes together? You know, if it's not been many people in my life who said, like, could you, yes, please go run your business from bed. And that might just be your version, right? You can run your business from wherever the fuck you want. The point is that you get to do it from pleasure and your way, your pleasurable way, being supported by a community of people around you that are doing that for themselves and saying it's possible for you to do it too. And that are also reaching for big, audacious goals, because that's something that I've experienced in being in a variety of containers, actually, what it looks like when everybody is energetically pulling towards the same direction. And it's a cliche, but I think that there's something to be said about cliches and their truth that is a lot, you know, lies in there, nuggets of truth, which is like the humans that you surround yourself with have an impact on you. You are the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with, is the cliched saying. But there is something very valid about who are you choosing to surround yourself with? What is the collective energy, the collective decision making that contributes to that? So for me, being in a space where other people were willing to hold my audacious goals as not audacious at all, as just like matter of fact, in fact, more than that, as already done. Great, that thing's already done for you. Let's celebrate every step of the way that's taking you towards that already done thing. That was a game changer for me. So having a coach, having a container of support, utilizing pleasure and mindset at every turn have truly been the strategy to making this happen. So today, what am I sharing with you? That this is the strategy. It's mindset, it's pleasure, it's support. And then a little bit behind that, what I've said is the straggling third place: consistency and the you-ness of you. So that's what I want to talk a little bit more next in terms of strategy, is the you-ness of you. And a deceptively simple tool that helps both you step into the you-ness of you and your audience. Because that's what we're talking about here, is how to sell high ticket offers, right? And one of the ways to get into a high ticket space of mind, to project the very loveliness, the most incredible parts of yourself, is bragging. And I'm pretty sure most of the people on this call today are totally aware of what I'm talking about. But if you're not, bragging is a tool that was taught to me by my mentor, Mama Gina. And it's simply using the words, I brag, in front of something about yourself. And the beautiful, incredible thing about bragging is that it can be your highest accomplishments or your lowest lows. But if you frame it as a brag, you have harnessed your glow, your greatness, because what you're saying is every piece of me is fabulous. And being reminded of your own fabulousness is one of the primary ways that you can put yourself in a mindset that gives yourself enough confidence to make audacious goal offers out there to the world. So as you brag, you're doing it for your own, changing your own neurochemistry. So why is this a strategic tool? Because it changes your own chemistry to be able to remind yourself, put you into the mindset that you can make big high ticket offers. But it's also a strategy because you're showing the world what is great about you. And more than anything, your offers are going to change throughout your lifetime. We are ever evolving beings. What you were doing 5 years ago, 10 years ago is not the same as you're doing today. And even if it is in the same space, I've been an artist for 15 years. I've been a nurse for 10 years. Whatever the thing is, I guarantee the nurse that you were 10 years ago is not the nurse you are today. You evolve as a human being. And as you evolve, your offers will evolve. And so in this, the bragging of you, your uniqueness is always going to be the first and primary thing that brings someone into your world. And in terms of strategy and sales, there is a piece of we need to connect to people to make the offer. So bringing people into your world is a way that you're going to be able to connect with humans and make the offer. And bragging brings people into your world because it is your unique shine. It is your glow. It's your authenticity, and it's also your vulnerability. Bragging is vulnerable as fuck. If you've ever tried it, you know it can have some moments of like, this feels stingy to share this way, or do would I really be so bold as to say this, or do I really want to share this tender part of me? But when you do, you create this vulnerability, this moment of connection. And more than anything, the you-ness of you is going to send out the signal for connection. And so how have I done these sales, this amount of sales in this year, was by having the mindset to be able to make a big high ticket offer. $20,000 offers. How to say it, it's not so hard to rack up 100K when you're making $20,000 offers versus a dollar offer, right? So having the gumption, the mindset that making a high ticket offer was within my capacity. But then also going and bragging all parts of me and all self of me, the rainbow stallion. There's a reason why you guys are all intrigued to come and be learning from me today. And a huge part of that is that I have been able to go out and shine the you-ness of me, the me-ness of me, to all of you in such a way that is just like, this is me and who I am. In my authentic self, galloping around here. Talking about pleasure and talking about what's going right for me. And then it's like, oh, wow, that feels yummy. That's a human I want to be more closely aligned with. And as you become more closely aligned with me energetically, you get to hear my messaging and you get to see, is my work aligned with you? And where you're at right now. And then that brings me into the next piece of strategy. So shining the you-ness of you, and bragging being a way to shine the you-ness of you, both back to yourself and to the audience. But then making the offer. And this is a mindset piece as much as it is anything else, right? It's always coming back to mindset. But as you make the connection with people, you need to invite them into your offer. If people don't know what you have cooking, they're not going to be able to buy it. And so understanding that sales is making offers. Making money is doing sales. And then so many layers of conditioning are we not conditioned to just have a very neutral kind of relationship to that. But this is where the mindset piece comes in again too, always coming back. There's so many layers of mindset around how to do this. Mindset around what it means to make an offer, to not feel like a broken record on day 3, where I know the majority of you have already heard my offer, but I'm going to make the offer again because this is what we do. We show up and we make the offer, right? And that's a mindset piece of even understanding and feeling neutral about that. So that today, literally, I don't have any charge around coming here and sharing about the mastermind with you again. And being willing and able to say the offer as many times as it takes. Because the other piece about sales and offers is that it's a numbers game. And this is where I say the strategy is like this big in the back. It's just saying the offer X amount of times. So the mindset, so that you can know your offer, be comfortable in your offer, say your offer. But then back here, it's like, okay, just being willing to let the people know. And on mindset day, on day one, I talked a lot about holding the energy of yes. And this relates to the offer, because the offer needs to be made enough times to enough humans that you get the sales conversion numbers. And can you hold the energy of yes within that? Can you make your offer 30 days in a row? If you wanted 5 clients and you knew it took 50 calls, can you hear 45 no's before you hear 5 yeses? And this is why I say mindset. Because you see, the other piece is so simple. The strategy piece is so simple. It's making the offer enough times to enough people. And getting enough people to make the offer to, that can be done in 5 billion different ways. And that's going to be unique to every single one of your audacious goals. So there's no magic strategy that I could offer you today that says, if you do step A and follow step B, you're going to get step C in terms of post to this group, respond to this person, automate a funnel this way. That's 5 billion different ways that all produce the same effect, which is having a connection with a human enough times and saying, here's what I'm offering. And being able to hold the energy of yes, even amongst the no's. Because the other beautiful thing, and this is more mindset, I was just talking with a one-on-one client about this, is that this offer, today's offer, this mastermind might not be the right entry point for you yet with me. That doesn't mean that there won't be another time that there would be, or maybe there never is, or maybe this training was the only entry point we ever needed to have our dance together. But when I'm holding the energy of yes, I'm never worrying if your no makes or breaks my offer. We're just in neutrality around that. So what's the strategy? Make the offer enough times to enough humans. Use your mindset to be able to hold the energy of yes. Use your mindset to be able to cultivate the capacity to put your audacious goal as the offer. And then use pleasure to ride you through all of that as the lube that takes you on this dance between the mindset and the making of the offer. And in that, the consistency as the last little piece of strategy to share with you all there. Because consistency in pleasure, consistency in mindset, and consistency in the offer are all going to be the needle mover. But guess what? It doesn't have to be hard. Because we can microdose that shit. 1 degree shifts change the game. Snail speed. So when I say consistency, our brains can pop right into that place of discipline and I have to do's, and if I can't do it, da, 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 da. Nope. Consistency is saying I'm willing to do 1%. 1% of mindset each day, 1% of pleasure, 1% towards making an offer. And oftentimes the beauty of that is that 1% leads to many more percents. But if we go from perfectionist brain that says I need to do 100% of all of this, and we end up doing no percent because 100% feels too overwhelming, then we make no movement. So the 1 degree shifts. So consistency, when I talk about consistency, I'm talking about 1 degrees, microdoses. So my beloveds, just like taking a little glance at my notes here, seeing if I'm missing anything, seeing if I've filled you all up with the fact that the simple strategy is mindset and pleasure, make an offer. Mindset, pleasure, make an offer. Mindset, pleasure, make an offer. Have support so that you can do your mindset, pleasure, and be making your offers. Be in a container with people who are holding you in that space, who are doing the same thing. And who has a coach who can help you see outside of yourself too. And that's part of the reason that I've layered the mastermind with different varieties of support so that we can have both the group support and the individual support that we need to be mastering, mistressing these beautiful monkey brains of ours and bringing them all together. So now you know. The secrets behind what has created this glow up. And what I can share with you is that whatever is available for me is available for you too. And it's something that I just know so deeply and intimately. And so many times we'll have stories about where we've come from or what we've experienced as a determinant to either be helpful or a hindrance to our experience. And so just sharing with you all too, like coming from poverty, coming from trauma from all of the realms, coming from broken systems of support, from all of the things. This kind of glow up is not just available to the people that have a supportive partner, that have a family that say they can do it, that come from wealth, that come from privilege, advantage. These results are available for you today, just as you are. There is nothing about you that you would need to change to be able to accomplish this. I am so fucking sure of your magnificence. So let my eyes dance on the screen of the beautiful humans that are here today. There's not a doubt in my mind of your magnificence. And that, my friends, is the only truth we need to know that this is available for you. So I'd love to share with you what is happening over in my Glow Up Mastermind. And it's very much this energy. This energy of being sure of your magnificence. Being sure that your audacious goals are not audacious at all. Understanding that we're going to dance together in the land of delusional thoughts of possibility. And that together as a collective, we're going to achieve some bold as fuck results. So the Glow Up Mastermind, using high ticket sales to grow your 6-figure business, is going to be a collective of us, 10 of us together, making high ticket offers. So this is for you if you want to be out there making a 5-figure offer. Right? We're here for big, audacious goals, high ticket offers to be able to create these results. So if you've been hanging out on that edge, being like, I know I want to charge more for my work, I just don't totally feel sure. This is going to be a space for you to come into where we're going to help you feel sure as fuck. Do it, prove it to yourself over and over again, and to the people who follow you, and be that inspiration. So it's a 9-month journey together. We're starting in December. and we'll journey together through till August in this collective energy of audacious goals, delusional thoughts of possibility, bold results. And we're going to have 3 coaching calls per month. And on each of those calls, you get a guaranteed hot seat time. So 8 to 10 minutes of one-on-one coaching. The beauty of the group container that I've mentioned throughout today's call actually is also the collective support that we get from our peers. Now that exists outside of coaching time, but even from a coaching perspective, being able to witness and experience the questions that your peers are asking, the coaching that they're receiving from me is going to add and contribute to your collective knowledge, your individual knowledge, your glow up, and it's going to compress time for you. That's something that I've really understood for myself as I've been in containers such as this over this last period of time, is that learning through what my other peers, my siblings, I call them, are going through and bringing has let me already have that knowledge bank so that when it shows up in my business, I'm not spending mental energy wondering how to process or deal with that thing. It's just already there in the file of this is how that's done. Doop, doop, pulled and inserted. So really being able to grow together through our hive mind and that experience is one of the most powerful parts of why you would step into a collective mastermind. And that's the point, mastermind. We're all using our collective mind energy to take each other higher, compress timelines for each other. So we're doing 3 calls per month where we get individual coaching on those, but you also get to receive the coaching of your peers. You're going to get a 30-minute one-on-one call with me each month. And so structuring it this way, like I said, various layers of support to hit all of the different needs and elements. So being able to have one-on-one time for me so that we can address what's going on for you individually, whether that is strategically for your business. All of the plays work, there's 5 billion options, but which one do you pick? And being able to sift through that and understand what is going to be my way of finding clients, of creating that connection to make the offer. So being able to have that one-on-one time with me so that we can craft that piece for you. Also to be able to have more individual eyes on what's happening in a mindset realm. To have someone be able to reflect to us. The beautiful part of working with humans such as yourself is like, I brag. We are all thought leaders. We are all visionaries. We are all game changers. We all come to the table with an fucking phenomenal tool set. And we can't always heal ourselves, right? We need the external reflection. We need the mirror, someone else to help hold us. And so in those one-on-one calls, you get that individual holding as well. But then we have a Facebook group for a next layer of support. So you've got your weekly calls to keep you connected in. You've got one-on-one calls with me. And then we also have the Facebook group so that we are there in celebration together, bragging, swamping, bringing all of the pieces, all of the questions, but then also having support as your business grows and develops literally overnight. Right? I was on the phone, not on the phone, but on the Facebook group with my coach just this week being like, oh shit, time slipped away from me. I forgot to make this offer here. What's the best way to clean that up? That's all happening live time. We don't have our coaching call till later this week. So having the Facebook group so that you have the support when you need it, not just from me, but from the collective community as well. And then, looking at what else, like I said, it's an intimate pot of 10. This is the opportunity for you to form lifelong relationships. Sources of referral, potential clients, for sure, best friends. All of those things have been born for me out of my participation in masterminds. Literally thousands of dollars of clients, humans that I love deeper than I could begin to imagine, and a network of referrals that I so happily spread to my community. This is part of the mastermind magic as well, is that we get to create a vortex of pleasure-based economy, taking each other higher and taking our peripheral communities higher through this work. because I know to the depths of my universe that there is so much capacity for all of us to have a shift towards pleasure and thus be living in a more glowy state and thus collectively take us higher. Like I was saying yesterday, no one wants to destruct the world post-orgasm. So let's be in orgasmic bliss together, literally, metaphorically, in all of the ways. The investment for the mastermind for the 9-month journey is $10,000. And if you pay that in full, it's $10K. If you pay with the payment plan, there's a 10-month payment plan of angel magic numbers. So $1,111 per month for 10 months. If you choose the payment plan option. And if you want to explore being in the mastermind, I'm going to drop the link here for a call with me. So bit.ly/chat with Marissa. Let's hop on a call and see if this is an alignment for you. If you know you want in, because your pussy is saying yes, then get in my DMs and message me that you're in. And we'll get you all set up. I'm offering a really super fun bonus too. For anyone who registers and joins before November 1st, you're gonna have a bonus 90-minute call with me in November. So the mastermind kicks off the first full week of December, but you'll get a bonus mastermind call with me in November, a 90-minute call for us to be able to do a little bit of the strategy piece of connecting, talking about what your audacious goals are, how to structure you so that you can come out the gates swinging with pleasure and mindset as we start the mastermind off. So having that 90-minute deep dive with me, we can explore what's happening with mindset, where you've been, where you want to get to, and create a really incredible and powerful pleasure plan of action. So that's a bonus for you if you jump into the mastermind before November 1st. And again, chat with Marissa, that bit.ly link there to schedule a discovery call. And oh, great question. The days and times of the calls are Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. And those are going to be 90-minute calls. Everybody gets that 8 to 10 minutes of hot seat. So it's going to be about a 90-minute call. We might sometimes go a little over if we do some dancing, but we'll be very respectful of everybody's time, and everybody gets individualized attention on those calls. And Kim, I'll put the link in here again for you all. And it has just been such a pleasure, my friends, to spend this time with you over these last 3 days. Again, you've moved me to tears multiple times. What we're creating here collectively, individually, is literally paradigm shifting. And when I talk about Holy Soul Fire Mission, shifting this paradigm falls right into that. And so being here together, I know has already made energetic waves and ripples. And so it's been so powerful to share these concepts with you, share this time with you. It would be my absolute delight and pleasure to journey with you in the Glow Up Mastermind. So I'm just feeling tingles of tease and anticipation for who we're going to work with and who's coming together to join me in that journey. And I hope it is every single one of you. And I look forward to deeper connections with you over time, right? This is but the beginning. If this is your first time coming into my world, if you've been hanging out for a while, you know that this is just a great space to come for the glow. So I look forward to seeing you at future events and supporting you as you bring your magic to the world. Thank you, friends. Sending you so much love and blessings for a beautiful rest of the day. Mwah, so much love, everyone.